Oh, and it's a good day go way. YouTube has been acting funny with my videos lately. I think they heard about me leaving and coming back, and now they punishing me. But I'm gonna do this as quick as I can before the sound and stuff mess up. This is a reading about tomorrow. Tomorrow will be 11/9, November 9th, 2025. Numerological breakdown will show that to be a 1010. You'll always hear me say where 1010 is what I call source code. It is your core trauma programming. This is what sits beneath the traumas that you think you're going through. Everybody think they got a handle on what they're going through, and then when they find themselves working through that, they realize there was something deeper that caused that trauma they think they're working through to hold so much space in their energy. And I've been saying this for years. I've had it as a personal experience, and I'm not telling you to think that everything I'm saying is what you're going through, or everything that I'm saying I went through is the way that you have to go through things. All I'm doing is offering a perspective and the experience and my awareness is that if you don't get a handle on the core of your trauma, you're only eating the fruits. If you don't get to the root of the problem, most of the shit you're going through is only the stuff that has compounded from you not dealing with why something is taking so much of your energy. Tomorrow, you might see where a lot of stuff is taking your energy. Before we even get to the 1010, 11/9/2025 basically says, I'm justifying with control in the judgment system, in the judgment system of what I'm being guided through. I'm justifying being controlled by what I think is worthy enough to guide me. That will show you your core traumas. That in itself, when you are justifying being controlled because what you think that is controlling you is the best way to go. So, without going too deep and too long into a reading, here's 10 potential things that you might want to be aware of. Their perspective of good and bad don't really weigh out once you start doing the real work on yourself. And the real work on yourself is learning how to sit still and not being moved by so many things. That is the real work. People say this shit all the time. You're here to find you. You're already you. You should find what's pulling you apart. You should find what is making you want to change your location. Get out of that root chakra shit. Get out of that fight or flight. Thank you, Casey. So, again, tomorrow, 11/9/2025 is going to show you your core traumas. If you do not start understanding the core of your trauma, and I'm going to tell you at the core of any trauma is already going to be a fear. Fear translates into almost anything in this realm, from it being, let's just say, the formats of sex. Let's just say, um, in the sense of sex being a trauma, we could have indulgence. You can have abstinence. You could have all the levels that make you either run too far in or make you stay out of. Greed. Greed is a fear. Lack is a fear. Hate is a fear. Love is a fear too. In this realm, I shouldn't have to read your comments, so please don't inundate my timeline. If you're going to follow, follow. If you're not going to follow, don't come in and eat up my comment lines with silliness. Wholeness to y'all. So, in understanding that where I'm saying love is a fear, and again, not trying to be funny, but this is what I do. If you need somebody to give you attention so that you feel better about getting attention, that's a lack. That's a state of lack within the human DNA design that says, pay attention to me so that I now feel worth being paid attention to. That's the average person's format of love. Is really just an exertion of energy that makes me feel safe enough about exerting energy or receiving energy in exchange. Love is a misconstrued concept in this realm. It really is. Love, when you start talking to people, especially like when you start talking to people on the spiritual path, they'll tell you that love doesn't have any conditions. And then after they say it doesn't have any conditions, they'll state the terms and conditions of their attachments based off of core traumas. So be mindful. Here's 10 potential core traumas that are taking place. Um, Yeah, I was going to say something, and I'll be honest with you. Some people have multiple core traumas, and then some people only have one primary core trauma that starts to become a infection, and then everything they're going through is only a stem effect from that one core trauma, that one root. It's producing a plant that has many flowers. Other people have a whole fucking garden. It is what it is. And that's a real plausible thing. If you don't get a handle on one, they can become a parasitic function. You can have one core trauma, and again, I'm telling you, they're all based in fear. But you can have a core trauma based on, let's just say, indulgence. I overeat, and now you find yourself overeating. Next thing you know, that indulgence in overeating becomes overindulgence in sex, overindulgence in social media, overindulgence in many different things. Why? Because you didn't fix the core one. It now becomes infectious in other things. So here's 10 potential core traumas that us as a collective need to face. And again, I'm telling you, as somebody who works on this stuff in my format of source, be the source of everything. Just because you're working on it, don't mean the motherfucker's gonna let you go for free. You can pay attention to attachments. Attachments is a trauma. You can pay attention to trying to figure out how not to have so many attachments, and then you get better at about working on your energy. That don't mean the attachment's gonna just disappear. That don't mean the opportunities for where people are gonna want to pull on your energy, or for where you might have a tendency to want to give your energy. It may not leave, but again, like I'm telling you, this journey is supposed to be about you and figuring out how not to move so much. You being aware of where you're the original source and tendency of pulling yourself apart means you'll now take accountability for holding yourself together. And you won't have so much ability for responding to everything that you help manifest to pull you apart. Take your time with that one. When you start seeing that the way that I energetically hold myself together is going to be the strongest point in the equation of what's pulling me apart. But there's a lot of trauma bonders out here. And so you'll make up all kind of excuses, which again, an excuse is still a core trauma too. It's a fear. Fear of accountability, one of the biggest traumas. That'll come up. So I'm gonna shuffle again because I felt like it was gonna be the first card. Accountability is a motherfucker. Accountability. My ability to account for myself means that I no longer have an account with everybody else. I just get to see them. And now they become choices. That scares a lot of people. So here's step one, not step one, but point one in 10 potential core traumas. The first one, spiritual laziness. Four, focus. Four is balance. The duality of this right here, where I'm telling you balance means a point of connection between one or more. No, I take that back. Balance is a point of connection between two or more. You can establish balance, but you need at least two. That's already guaranteed separation. There's a core trauma right there. The core trauma means that I focused on something else that already took me off my throne. Laziness ain't a good thing. It was lazy of you to give your energy to something else, expecting it to put you back on your throne. Remember, I told you where love is a core trauma too? People need to be validated. If you love me, then you'll say that you love me, and now I'll learn to love myself. That's laziness. That's narcissism. So, four, as I'm telling you, that four is balance. Balance is already a core trauma. And I told you everything that I'm going to show you already has a core trauma deeper than it. The core trauma that I just pulled right here, which is laziness, and let's just say it, America is lazy as shit. America has a duty to itself that is too lazy to perform because it expects the same people who are not performing the duty to perform the duty that the American people won't perform for themselves. That's laziness. You have a king on the throne for a country that is not supposed to have a king, and you waiting on the king to stop being the ruler. And you waiting on the rest of his supporting court cast of jesters to play their part. They are playing their part. And if you're not smart enough to see where it's not about you, you're only in balance with something that is going to keep you still. Laziness. You ain't gonna do nothing. Step one, core trauma, fear. Too lazy to do something because you think somebody else is gonna come do it for you. Holy shit. Core trauma, fear. You've been programmed. You've been programmed into belief systems. And this is way deeper than religion. You've been programmed into belief systems that have taught you not to be able to think for yourself. So something else is already greater than you. You're not authorized to think for yourself. Holy shit. There's another core trauma. I can't think for myself. So something else must be ruling over me. That's the whole problem. I can't hold myself together because I'm not accountable to myself. Remember, I told you accountability was one of the core things. So step two, because step one said 4, you're already trapped. You are trapped in the balance of pulling yourself apart with the ideology of holding yourself together. Too easy. Spiritual ADHD. You can't keep still to figure out why you're moving because you're trying to move to figure out why you can't keep still. God diggity damn. Step 2. What's your motivation? 2, 8. I'm connected to 8. 2 is connection, 8 is struggle. Struggle in the sense to where I am using my energy to combat something that I now deem greater than me. See the first card. 2 plus 8, 10. Holy shit, 10. I'm now in the realm of duality where my potential may potentially be fooling me, but holy shit, how many numbers do you see? Most of you are going to say 1. There's 3. There's the 1, there's the 0, and then there's that lie called the 10. But that's not what it is. Shh. Go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. 2, 8, go back to sleep. The motivation is whatever you've been fed. You see that delicious titty? You see that? That shit got you knocked out and dashed on the rock. That's the siren. That's the sea hag. Oh, holy shit. Jump off the cliff. Easily programmed. Your mind can be controlled by the greatest force of motivation, and you won't think for yourself. You'll do what you're told. Holy shit. The first card said you'll do what you're told. The second card said you'll do what you're told. Why? Because all we got to do is give you a source of motivation to confirm your core programming. Again, your core programming was the fear that you're not enough. So I'm be motivated by whatever I think will show me more of me, even when all of it is going to show me being pulled apart. Third step, now I need to quit saying the word step. Third potential core trauma that's going to present itself. The first one was laziness. The second one was, what are you using as a source of motivation? The third one is the experience itself. You're a genie out here taking losses. This is what I was saying earlier, where your thoughts are only going to keep you in replication of trying to produce more experiences. You're only trying to figure out how to get out of the experiences. How'd you get into them? How'd you get into them? Remember I just said spiritual ADHD? Who told you to go put on 4 pair of pajamas? I don't know, Mama. I wasn't thinking. Who did it? I don't know, but I just did it anyway. So now you're trying to fix the result. You're trying to get out of the result of the experiences that you help authorize, because nobody told you to take your little ADHD ass back in that room and put on 4 pair of pajamas at once. Ain't nobody tell you to do that. You had to actually get up and physically move to create the experience, and now you're trying to figure out how to get out of it. Holy shit. Number 3, my thoughts. Number 3, my thoughts that just keep on replicating. 3 becomes 3, becomes 3, becomes the 3 that I didn't even see. Holy shit, I'm a genie. I've given all my power to what I was thinking. What do you mean what you was thinking? Whatever had my ear became the greatest source of motivation. Why was it the greatest source of motivation? Because I ain't got to do no work as long as somebody telling me how to work. I ain't got to do nothing for myself as long as somebody else telling me how to do everything for myself. I'll just keep voting for it. Oh, shit. 33, you caught in your traumas. You are caught in your traumas and you think you have to go through the experience of the trauma to get out of the trauma. This is what I've said for years is there's a burning house in front of you. I see it. That is enough experience. Some of you will go jump into it to figure out how to get out of it because you just need to know. The need to know is a trauma. Fear that there is something that I don't understand will almost always become a big enough motivation for me to need to know. Nosy as fuck. So you already at step four. Step four, I already told you I was step one. And again, I keep saying that word step. Core trauma four is about to show you that core trauma one was already there. You're already the abuser. The fourth core trauma becomes five. You're already under abuse. Why? This is the Hierophant card. This is Archangel Uriel, the Watchtower for Earth. The Watchtower for Earth, when you're dealing in that system, basically helps you with your belief systems, your grounding, your earth energy. This is where I place my energy in belief. If I place my energy of belief in something that is abusing me and I'm willing to keep giving it my energy so I can learn how to take the losses from what I helped create, it becomes the greatest source of motivation and nourishment as I am comfortable being lazy with being ruled over. Get it? That's the emperor. The emperor in reverse basically is the slave. The emperor in reverse is the person not on the throne. I don't want to be on the throne. And again, to be funny, because this is what I do, this is where you love your master, your Lord and Savior, more than you love yourself. Yeah, really. So, step five, well, core trauma five, whereas core trauma four already showed you that it was five. Core trauma five, you're a martyr. You're a martyr. You're the hangman. One plus two, three. You're out here taking losses. You're a martyr. You are hung up, but you're hung up by yourself. The analogy, and do your own research, look up Odin. Look up Odin, the patriarch for, well, the common patriarch for the Norse mythology. Hung himself upside down to get the complete knowledge of the universe. Wasn't fine with what he knew on his own, so he wounded himself and plucked out an eye so he could hang himself from Yggdrasil for 9 days, 13 in some walks, but 9 days, hung himself upside down to learn more. If I got to hang myself upside down and injure myself just to learn something, is it really worth knowing? The majority of you going to tell yourself yes. Why? Because you have a core trauma of martyrdom. You have a core trauma of trying to learn something outside of yourself at the sacrifice of yourself. You're willing to take a loss for a potential perceived gain. And then once you take that gamble and you realize you lost, you will either try and protect that loss or you will try and sign on to something else to replace it. Holy shit, you'll vote for the next fool, but you'll never choose you. So you are out here just hanging yourself up, creating time. And this is Oren Mila, Ifa in the Orishas. Ifa was the witness to creation. If you're the witness to creation, was creation even necessary? Strike that from the records, Your Honor. The majority, I'm going to say yes. If I was already there before something got created, is it really of importance to me? Is it necessary or is it just a choice? So step five said it was really just a choice. But like I told you at the beginning, the core trauma basically teaches you not to choose you. Choose your fear. And again, the biggest fear in this realm, doubt. I'm willing to hang myself up to learn more because I don't know enough about myself. Therefore, I don't see myself as enough. Doubt. And I'm willing to create more to learn it. So step six means, or core trauma six means that you are already under trauma. Six is your traumas. Six is the foundation you're going to build on. If I'm building on the mental ideology that I'm already not enough, what am I going to create that's going to show me love? Yeah, the whole problem is human psychology as sold, the Freudian systems, and even your, not trying to be funny, from my perspective and experience, your more antiquated systems, such as Chinese systems and other Tibetan and Buddhist type systems, they still all contain that core trauma. They still all contain that core trauma that something else, either by externalized journey to produce it within or externalized journey to receive it from some other being, they still all teach separatism. Almost Every psychological system in here teaches you that you have to give your energy into something in order to give it back to yourself. That's externalization. That's fragmentation. So anything that teaches you that I gotta martyr myself in order to learn to love myself, you might want to start seeing that shit for what it is. It's already got a core foundation already steeped in some traumas. It's already got some core foundations steeped in some traumas. Holy shit. Osayan, the master healer. You should know your Orishas. The Osayan is already stump leg, one ear missing, one eye mangled, the other eyes, the other ear looked like a root. He took some damages, but he know how to use them herbs. He know how to use everything on earth. Remember I told you the whole trap was you're going to end up abusing yourself to learn to love yourself. Holy shit, I'm a master healer. This is the hermit card, but that's Osayan. And now I'm going to share my healing with everything else because it showed me how to be in control. The danger with that when you're dealing with core traumas, to take this away from the Orisha format, let's go Indo-European with it, is when what you believe in is sufficient enough for you to keep you safe, but yet you're endangered by what everybody else believes. So you think it is your duty to inflict harm on them by what you believe, by taking away what they believed. Were you ever safe in what you believed? If you feel like you have to share your shit with others, what you're sharing only keeps you sick. And I said this the other day in the last reading I did. You're only healed when everybody else looks like your sickness. If everybody else looks like your sickness, there is no sickness at all. My core foundation of sharing my sickness, my ineptitude, that core trauma of doubt within myself, because I don't really believe what I believe, it just feels better than not being able to believe in myself because I don't know who I am. That is the majority of people. I don't give a fuck what faith or tradition you fall under. You don't really know who you are, so that you subscribe into something because it feels better to believe in something than to not have nothing to believe on at all, which the whole thing you missed in that equation was, why do I even need to believe? I already am. At that point, your core trauma just kicked in because you're like, that ain't how it is. Your core trauma already kicked in. The minute that somebody challenges you to be who you are and be enough on your own and you come up with anything else out your pie hole, your core traumas are speaking. You are only sharing that infection with you, and you mean to share it so that you subdue others, so that you feel like healing. Hell, you might as well resurrect fucking Takamata punk ass from the damn Inquisitions. He'll beat it out of you, or in that case, he'll beat it into you. And that's how some of y'all are. You want to beat your beliefs into others because your beliefs have beaten you. And that's your core trauma. You have a wretch mindset. You have a struggle mind. You have a poverty mindset. You have a prison wave and scarcity consciousness. You already see yourself being ruled over. Somebody else got to have your head because you ain't smart enough to keep it for yourself. Holy shit. Core trauma 7, self. I don't know who I am, so core trauma 7, self-awareness, produces core trauma 7, the spiritual journey. I don't know who I am, so I need to go find me. I don't know who I am, so I need to give all my energy to the moon so that I can go find reality. When the first thing with the moon is, the moon's light is not even real. Sorry, the moon's light is transmutation. The moon's light is the sun's light being placed back out in reflection. So you're going to, holy shit, Alice, step 7, the spiritual journey. I'm going to go into the mirror to find who I am. If you understood anything about anything I just said, looking in the mirror is on the reflection of what you think you see. It ain't even what it really is. It is only a reflection of what you think you look like. Go to a hall of mirrors, that shit could be easily changed. So you trying to find reality by giving all of your potential to what's already got you under struggle. What's got me under struggle? I'm not enough. Core trauma beneath these core traumas, the fear and doubt that I'm not enough. So, in the fear and doubt that I'm not enough, I'm going to go to the systems of me not being enough to find out how to be enough. But yet, if I created these systems, can the creation be greater than the creator? That's a personal question you have to answer. Can the creation become greater than the creator? And if so, good luck, motherfucker. What's up, Gigi? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Your spiritual journey is you trying to create reality. The first rule of reality is it can't be created. I'm sorry. Y'all kill me with that. My accepted reality, it really just is that. It's what you accept as real, even though it ain't there. I accept this pencil as my Lord, Savior, and guide. Thank you, pencil Jesus. Amen. That's now my reality. Don't get mad at me. That's my reality. I invested my energy in the strongest struggle in my head, and the strongest struggle in my head is who's greater than me. Well, now it's this pencil. Yeah, I identify as. So you don't know who you are, so you'll need everybody else to feel safe with whatever you choose, when really it's just a reflection of it's really just a reflection of where you ain't safe either. That is how you end up with all these movements. That is how you end up with formatted religion. I just need you to believe the way I believe, because if you believe the way I believe, none of this would be happening. Step 8, you work for your traumas. 8, the things I'm struggling with in my head. What am I struggling with in my head? The trauma that has already taken hold of my mind. You work for it. You work for it. It is your fear. The struggle in your mind is your core trauma. Whichever one keeps presenting itself in the most obvious fashion, the high priestess, Yemaya, you're the mother of fishes. You help birth everything else in your mind. My connection to my fear, I told you that at the beginning. Some people will have all of these core traumas and some people will only have one. But the more you have or the less you have is really inconsequential, because you could have one core trauma and that bitch keep producing flowers and fruits. Or you can have 9 core traumas and they just there, you just trying to stay away from them. You ain't giving them the energy, but you know they're there and you haven't figured out how to release. So whether there's 1 core trauma or 20, you work for it. Your connection to that fear makes it the greater energy. You understand that? The high priestess, I got the greatest connection to pencil Jesus. See, pencil Jesus do all the work, even though it's my hand controlling the energy. Please take your time with that one. Pencil Jesus is the power source, but he can't do nothing without me. Oops. Wake up, pencil Jesus. Wake up. Wake up, pencil Jesus. It is I, my child. But that core trauma, that fear that you ain't enough, won't let you see that. Why? 9, you already been controlled. You already been controlled. Your core trauma has you safely tucked away in struggle. And every time you try and break free, I'm going to show you a fear. A lot of y'all have that as a personal, my shadow work bullshit. That shadow work bullshit that y'all lie to yourself about. Sorry, I'm not going to hold your hand. That shadow work bullshit where you're just trying to fix the traumatic experiences that you help keep creating, but you don't never fix yourself as the source creator. So I can keep fixing the problems that I create, but at what point am I going to stop being the problem creator? Strike that from the records, Your Honor. Strike that from the records, Your Honor. They're not past that level of control. Core trauma 9, you're safely tucked away in control because you think being in control means I'm high vibration. You're right. You are a AA battery plugged up into a goddamn Nintendo Game Boy, and that motherfucker will never go dead. It won't go dead. Why? Because it's already got your energy. Holy shit, pencil Jesus. It's got all your energy. So it becomes the truth, the way, the light. Why? Because it's already got your power. But you don't know your own power, so you'll keep giving your power to what you think is safer, for you to indulge in. And what I was talking about at the beginning is most of the things that the traumas want as a core trauma will require you to indulge in them. I don't look good enough. You've indulged in your fear of doubt, self esteem. I need more money. You've engaged in your fear of ineptitude or lack, scarcity. You understand what I'm saying? Almost anything you do that just keeps on coming back, it's a fear based core trauma. So we're on core trauma 9. It's already got you under control. It knows you more than you know yourself. I would not be surprised if this is a 7. It'll be some format of 7. It might be the 34, which is my God card. It knows you more than you know yourself. God damn, that's worse. It's the magician. Knowledge. It's one. It's got all the potential. Can you not understand that if something knows you more than you know yourself, it can tell you what to do? It is the magician. Holy shit. Where was the snake inside of you? Where was the mountaintop, Martin? Martin, where was the mountaintop? It was already within you. Where was that snake that deceived me? It was already within me. Who burnt me? Holy shit, I'm burnt myself. What am I doing? Chasing infinity. You might not be able to see it, but there's an infinity symbol up there. I'm chasing the infinity within me because infinitely I can't keep still, spiritual ADHD. You can't keep still and see who you are, so you keep moving, trying to find you by creating fucking reflections. Oops. Your core trauma is you don't understand that each investment of energy is an indulgence into separation, that you only indulge in separation because you don't understand your energy and you've been tricked and told by false systems of knowledge to fear the reality of learning your emotions. So you share your healing with that martyred system of hanging yourself up and abusing yourself into learning how to empower your losses, my dear genie, because that voice in my head becomes a greater motivation for me to be too lazy to take back my throne. And even that's a trick. You don't need to take back your throne, because if you're taking back your throne from a false creation, you will only seek to rule over the false creation. Did you catch that? Did you see how, like I told you a second ago, this motherfucker already know more about you than you know about yourself until you sit your punk ass down and stop thinking from systems of knowledge. My awareness already saw this knowledge trick before it got there. My knowledge, yeah, I was a Pisces, thank you. But you are all signs and you understand that. They're just a roadmap of knowledge on how you can hold yourself into this system of chasing yourself, trying to get to a throne called my reflection. Core trauma 9 already got you controlled because all I know is what I've been seeing and showing. Being seen, been seeing and shown. And if all you've been seen and been shown is a trap and a trick, the only thing you're going to know is how to trick and trap yourself. You understand that? My laziness of not understanding that this was a trap means that all you got to do is motivate me within the trap and feed me, nourish me, and get inside my head. And then I will bind my energy to what's already guaranteed to show me losses, because I need to find out who's abusing me, because holy shit, lack of accountability. I need to find out who's abusing me when holy shit, it was me hanging myself up the whole time. But I'm out here trying to be a martyr because I'm fighting what's designed to keep me in motion. Holy shit. This whole year, this 2025 has been about motion. I told y'all that last year. It was going to be about guidance, direction, and necessity. This whole year has shown us where people only needed you to keep playing the game so that the game doesn't end. And what did the people do? Play the game the way the game is played, hoping that the game will end. If you play the game by the rules of the game, the only thing guaranteed to continue is the motherfucking game. So you stay a martyr because you sharing all of that 9 energy. You sharing all that energy with what's already got you under control. And it becomes your reality, even though it's only The transmuted energy, the emotions, the lunar energy got you acting lunar as fuck because you ain't ready to face your fears. And since you ain't ready to face your fears, knowledge already teaches you what it wants you to know. We can put it in the book. We can write it on the wall, on the walls. We can post it online. You won't believe it if it tickles your core trauma of fear. Why? 10. You see one number, but I already told you it's 3. And it's even more than that, to be honest with you. If you understand multiplicities, which that's a whole nother fucking class, not trying to be funny. This is multiple numbers. Yeah. And we still will be. As long as we're here in manifestation, as long as you perceive yourself to be you and I perceive myself to be me, we stay stuck in that core trauma of separation and we will manifest our own individual experiences within this collective, which is false, this collective identity of one in separation into many. We're only one from the separation of many within the separation of many from one. Did you catch that? So you'll only perceive your experience as your part of the separation, which means we ain't even faced the separation yet. We're just saying what we think the separation showed us. I'm Tony, you're Gigi. So here's 10. You don't even understand that the whole trick was give all your energy to what you placed in front of you. What I placed in front of me. I don't want to own my throne. Step 1, core 1, laziness. You're already trapped. If you only work for the trap, getting out of the trap means you still work for the trap. So 10, core trauma 10, you only work for the trap. That damn snake, the Leviathan already got all your waters. But where was the Leviathan? The Leviathan was already within me. The Leviathan was in my heart, to be honest with you. What I attached to, heart, green, what I'm growing. What I'm attached to is what I'm growing. What am I growing? My core trauma. What was my core trauma? I need to establish an identity. 2, connection. 7, self-awareness, identity. I need to connect to the best identity that shows me the best potentiality to get out of the trap by going through the trap. So core 10, the first step is to only show you what we want you to know. The Leviathan only show you what we need you to know, which means there's a core trauma. The other 2 sides of the 10, the 1 and the 0, all your potential belongs to what's already teaching you. All of your potential belongs to what's teaching you. And it will timelessly pull you apart. The thought will show you all of your potential. 3, the thought will show you how to potentially create time and pull yourself apart endlessly, trying to find dominion. You will keep on going down samsara's wheel. You will keep going down the Akashic route, trying to figure out which one of these lifetimes was the best one, so much to the point to where you'll lie to yourself and say that they're all connected. And then you'll create the connection. Oops, probably shouldn't have said that. Sorry. Why? Because you ain't ready to face yourself as the fool. You ain't ready to face yourself as the fool. You ain't ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Your core trauma is you like to share your healing because you covet that 6. But that 6 was really a 9. What was the 9? What you think you know. So I've already been fooled into coveting what I think is going to be healing by sharing healing what already got me sick. But what already got you sick? Your choices. Your core trauma, choice. Your core trauma, choice. 11, what you keep justifying. If you righteously keep giving your energy into everything around here that has shown you how not to hold yourself together, the only thing pulling your dumb ass apart is you. Love you. Learn to love yourself and not your fucking traumas. Wholeness.